This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday, June 21st, 2024. Born on this date, we have several today. In 1941, gospel and R&B singer Mitty Collier of Birmingham. In 1953, former Milwaukee Brewers catcher and outfielder Charlie Moore Jr. of Birmingham. In 1967, former NBA forward Derek Coleman of Mobile. And in 1972, singer Allison Moorer of Frankville and Monroeville. Now, today we have an Alabama native who starred in the Rickwood game. Our Washington lawmakers want something done about evangelicals in Nicaraguan prison, and an influential band director has passed away. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. The MLB at Rickwood ballgame is in the books, and seemingly successfully so. The Negro Leagues were honored during most of the telecast on Fox, with a highlight being some storytelling from Bob Kendrick of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Birmingham. Now, a big memorial was displayed in honor of Willie Mays, the baseball legend who died this week and began his career roaming the Rickwood Field outfield for the Birmingham Black Barons. Fans of vintage baseball were treated to a televised throwback ball game from Birmingham's Rickwood Field, the oldest operating ballpark in America. Fox even aired the fifth inning with a vintage look to its telecast. The screen was in black and white with dated graphics and even that old school crackle in the announcers' voices. Now, if nothing else, it reminded us how far we've come to today's high-definition color and graphics full of so many stats you feel like you could evaluate the Space Launch System in flight. Now, as for the ball game, the St. Louis Cardinals beat the San Francisco Giants 6-5, and it was the only player in the game from Alabama who was the hero. Brendan Donovan had a home run, double, single, 4 RBIs, and 1 run scored for the Cards. Donovan played at Enterprise High and the University of South Alabama. U.S. Senator Katie Britt took to the Senate floor to push the Biden administration to help ministers who are imprisoned in Nicaragua, reports AL.com's William Thornton. Alabamian Britt Hancock founded Mountain Gateway, an evangelical church that's based in Texas. Mountain Gateway has planted 10 churches in Nicaragua. Christianity Today reported that in December, Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega ordered all of those churches closed and had 11 pastors arrested and accused of money laundering. They were found guilty and received sentences between 12 and 15 years and fined a combined $1 billion. I'm going to say that again to be clear. That's with a B, $1 billion. Mountain Gateway leaders deny the charges and say they haven't so much as seen charging documents. Senator Tommy Tuberville and U.S. Representatives Robert Adderholt, Gary Palmer, Dale Strong, Jerry Carl, Barry Moore, and Terry Sewell have already lent voices of support for the ministers. From Britt's speech, quote, "Any options that are in the toolbox should be used to force Nicaragua to remedy this situation," end quote. Well, the founder of the Carver High School Marching Band and the man who brought back the band program at Miles College has passed away, reports AL.com's Joseph D. Bryant. Arthur Means Jr. became Carver's director of music when the school opened in 1959. Similar to Nick Saban's college football coaching tree, Means' influence on high school band didn't stop at the edge of Carver's campus. Bobby Benton, himself a Carver alum who spent 3 decades teaching band at Birmingham schools, said there was a time when 10 of the Birmingham School District's band directors and music directors had been students of Means. Means remained at Carver for 37 years. Then he revived the full-time band program at Miles, growing the Purple Marching Machine from 32 players wearing sweats to a 200-strong unit. Arthur Means Jr. was 87 years old. Hey, we're going to take a break, and then it's Friday, so we're going to do a news quiz. Come on back. We've got Madison Underwood with us.
Whoa. Landing an account this big will totally change my landscaping business. It's going to mean hiring more guys and more equipment and new trucks for the new guys to drive the new equipment in. I don't know if I'm ready.
You can do this, and Ford Pro FinSimple can help. Our experts are ready to make growing pains less painful for your business with flexible financing solutions that meet the needs of your business today when you need them. Get started at fordpro.com/financing.
Hey, thanks for sticking around, everybody. We like to have some fun on Fridays, most Fridays anyway, and do a little news quiz just to help everybody kind of catch up on any headlines they might have missed. See if you've been paying attention. We bring usually a staffer on because, theoretically, we in this business know the news. So I think it's okay to shame us when we miss a headline or a detail. But today we have Madison Underwood on the show. Madison has been a journalist of many stripes. What's your title or how you describe your position right now, Madison?
I am a social media specialist or a senior social media specialist, getting that senior designation now. And I describe my job as that I help put our stories in front of other people so that they get read, and help promote our really good work and help our audience connect with us. So.
Now, I've worked with you on the social media team over the past couple of years, few years here and there, and I'm certainly not senior in that regard because I'm just not as good at it as you are. And people have to understand there is a lot to it because I can sit back in theory and talk about audiences and sharing copy and everything, but when it hits the fan, somebody needs to give me a few passwords.
Right. Well, I forget them too. So we have to find documents every once in a while.
And so it's an election year in that job. Are you keeping your sanity so far? Because I know how hairy things get out there in the social media jungle.
Yeah, by trying to ignore it as much as possible. I think that's the only way to keep sane on that. I mean, you have to see what you've got to see. But sometimes when we have political stories, you just need to share them and not look at them after that. Or things that are going to connect with your audience because it's about Alabama or it's about the politicians in Alabama, or about what somebody in Alabama said about politicians outside of Alabama. And you can't dwell on politics too much. You've got to have a well-rounded life. So, sometimes you just got to move on from those stories after you share them. So that's the way I try to approach that.
Yeah. And it's a task, because I know that I've spent some days, sort of living in Twitter or wherever. You just have to sit back and realize that for every big voice or someone trying to stir the pot or make somebody feel bad, there are a lot more people who aren't commenting or comment thoughtfully.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to do what Fred Rogers' mom suggested he do and find the helpers out there. But that's the goal, right? Because Alabama's full of those people.
Yeah, I think that one of the things we do as members of the news media, and I don't know how often everybody always quite gets there, but what we definitely want to do is to just outweigh that stuff. We need to be in folks and letting people know what's going on. But anyway, I'm just going on.
I think you do a good job of that on your show here. I think that's that's you connecting with the audience in a very positive way. So,
Oh, well, thanks. In that,
and
yeah, we
things
have
like
all
that.
these platforms at our disposal, and we try to reach different people in different ways. And yeah, appreciate that. And yeah, and you're great at what you do. That's for sure. But let's get on to this quiz. I don't like you so much that I'm not going to try to humiliate you just a little bit. I don't know
I
if
appreciate that respect.
I don't know if anybody takes me seriously when I say things like that. Let me start off with number one and get rolling here. Willie Mays, the baseball legend who passed away Tuesday at age 93, was from this former city in central Alabama. A. Jonesboro. B. Ellerton. C. Westfield. Or D. Bibb City.
I'm going to go with Ellerton because I know that was a beginning community in Birmingham, in the Birmingham area. Yes.
Oh, oh,
Oh no.
I got to pull it out already. That's good. That was my hard other um, answer. Westfield is actually right. It's a town that
Westfield. Okay.
how many people have heard of Westfield or know what it is? It was a mining town near what's now Fairfield. And Ellerton, of course, was the county seat. I mean, it was Birmingham before there was Birmingham, right? You probably know more about this than I do.
Yeah, I think that was like the original tracks along what became the railroads, if I'm at all correct on that. But so yeah, I fell for the trap on that one,
Yeah, it was
which
totally a
means we
trap.
get to learn.
That's right. Every miss is a learning opportunity. And folks who come into Birmingham, you'll see Ellerton in places. There's an Ellerton Village is a place where folks live. There's the Ellerton Hotel, I think it is, as the
Hotel.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a rooftop bar, fancy place. Number two.
yeah. I shouldn't have spent I shouldn't have spent this whole week in the isolation chamber, ignoring all the coverage this week. But I was trying to be respectful of the game here.
Oh, see, you're playing honestly. No, I suspect there are a couple of people really boned up for it ahead of time. There's no shame. You see more news than most people. You see more news in a week than most people do in a year. So, number two,
Yeah.
the Alabama West Florida Conference of the United Methodist Church recently announced the closing of 10 congregations with falling membership numbers. B, a membership drive targeting lawyers and accountants. C, a softball game against the state's Southern Baptists. Or D, that any members jumping back to the UMC from disaffiliated churches will get extra ice cream at summertime church events. I know those were long answers.
I believe that they should offer ice cream to churches that are might want to come back in because that would be nice. But we're going to go with A, that choice.
Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, it's like your bylaws really go against my values, but man, that third scoop of vanilla, it's a game changer. That
Fellowship and food go together very well, and they've always been a part of bringing people into the church, I think. So
that's right. I still remember my first vacation Bible school. I don't know how old I was, but I'd remember the hot dog I had. And if I'll go ahead and get people to send me hate mail about this, but I noticed I really liked it having put Miracle Whip on it. But there you go.
yeah, that's going to draw some comments.
Well, it's a hot dog. You can like it however you want to like it. That's the fun.
I put ketchup on mine at Rickwood this week, so we can get yelled at together.
Oh yeah, that almost draws more ire. At least the Miracle Whip is like a weird thing, The ketchup is like the one standard thing everybody hates.
Right.
All right, let's see. Where are we? We're on number 3. Tropical Storm Alberto became the first named storm of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season when it formed off the Yucatan Peninsula. What impact has it likely had on the Alabama Gulf Coast? I know this is get the weeds a little bit, but we had a story, did have a story on the site that would have clued us in on this. A light breeze. B, coastal flooding. C, double red flags flying at the beaches. Or D, bull sharks fleeing the Gulf and taking cover in Gulf Coast river systems.
That's going to be C. Final answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't even checked in on them lately, but it was this week we had some double reds, which meant they could arrest people for getting in the water. Number 4.
Yeah.
The Birmingham Stallions recently won the UFL title, giving the Stallions 3 league titles, 2 USFL, 1 UFL, in all 3 years of their existence. Who's the team's head coach? A, Terry Bowden. B, Skip Holtz. C, Eddie Robinson Jr. Or D, Kristen Saban.
It's going to be Skip Holtz.
Absolutely. Yes. Of course, Lou Holtz is his father, for anyone who hasn't, who just joined us in the sports world. Let's go to, well, this is number 5 already?
I believe so.
Oh, you're 3-1, and we're on number 5, and 4 out of 5 is, there's only been one better than that. So if you nail this one, then you're among the elite. Okay, now,
all right, I'll take this B if I can get it.
This one it might be harder. It's not a current event either, but was out there because we acknowledged a birthday, at least here on the show. We recently passed the anniversary of the birth of prolific actor Pat Buttram of Addison, Alabama. Is that how do we say anniversary of a birth when people have passed, or do we still say birthday?
I think that's still a birthday.
Okay. Yeah. It felt a little weird when I said it that way. Okay. The birthday of Pat Buttram of Addison, Alabama. He was born in 1915, passed away in 94. Now, TV viewers of the 1960s might have known him by this name. A, Ernest T. Bass. B, Mr. Haney. C, Uncle Joe Carson. Or D, My Mother the Car.
Oh, I do not know this one.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to guess A. Ernest T. Bass.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you know what? If you didn't know, yet you know me, and you probably know me well enough to know that I would absolutely slip in an Andy Griffith Show character if I had an opportunity. Then that could have influenced. No, it's B, Mr. Haney. Pat Buttram was the guy with the voice. He was let's see. He was Gene Autry's sidekick on a bunch of movies. He played the sheriff of Nottingham in the Disney version of Robin Hood. And from Fox and the Hound, he was Chief, the cranky older hunting dog.
Right.
So you know that you probably have the voice now, right?
Yeah, I think I can think of it. Yeah, I'm unhappy that I missed that because I like, knowing anyone from Alabama who has ever made an impact anywhere. But
I did think, hey, this is a hard one I'm putting on here. But when it was you coming on to take the quiz, I thought, oh, he's got it. So I don't doubt that.
It's the isolation chamber.
It is the isolation chamber. Well, 3 out of 5 ain't bad. And
I just know that the audience needs to know that whatever we miss on this, whatever percentage of questions we miss on this, they dock our pay for that week down by that much. So it's going to be a rough week for me.
Well, that made getting 3 out of 5 really clutch for you because you don't have to actually pay them back.
That's true. That's right.
You go down to 2 and it gets a little sketchy.
Garnishment begins.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate you having me on and giving me the opportunity.
Madison, thanks so much for coming on and taking it. This was a lot of fun. At least it was for me. And thanks And thanks everybody out there for listening. We are going to be back here again bright and early Monday. Until then, y'all come see what we're doing on the internet at al.com.